Do you ever get that feeling in a relationship that something is off, but you can't explain it, or you can't explain why you feel that way? Your as if your spirit is telling you something, but your heart is hoping that you are wrong. That is not being weird or being paranoid. It is discernment. It means that there is something that tugging that you're feeling in your spirit. You have to look into look into it and know what is responsible for it. So today we are going to mention 5 relationship red flags that most people ignore until it destroys their peace. 5 relationship red flags that most people don't notice until it spoils their purpose, until it spoils even their person, even them as a person. So whether you're dating somebody right now, or you're texting somebody, or you're just on your own, minding your business, or you're just praying, or you're preparing, or you're already in a very serious relationship, this is your moment to wise up. Because love, real love, it shouldn't feel like a guessing game. And if it already does, if it already feels confusing, there is a reason. This is just part one. And trust me, some of the red flags I'm going to mention today, they might look cute, they might look harmless on the surface, but they are destructive underneath. They are destructive in the long run. So are you ready? Let's go. Now the first red flag is they avoid accountability. They never apologize when they are wrong, as it is obvious that they are wrong. It's glaring to everybody. It's glaring to the blind that they are wrong. But they rather twist things around and make it your fault, and make it feel as if you are the problem, and make it feel as if you're asking for too much. They deflect, they gaslight you, they accuse you wrongly, and always have an excuse for something. They always have an excuse for doing what they did. Okay, he spoke down on you, or she insulted you, yes, and you're trying to hold them accountable of what they did. Why did you speak to me this way? They will make it your fault. They will look for a way to twist it and turn it and make it your fault. It will get to a point you start asking, am I asking too much from them? It is not your fault, my dear. It is their fault. And it's a red flag because humility requires you to apologize when you're wrong. Humility requires you to be accountable. And humility is the foundation of healthy love, is the basis of a healthy love. So any love that is lacking humility, that love is not healthy. If they can't say I'm sorry, I mean it, or I was wrong now that you people are dating, or you people are in your courtship, or you people are just getting to know each other, what now happens when you people now get married? What now happens when you now go into the real deal? Know that no accountability today equals emotional damage tomorrow. Because when you keep accommodating the gaslighting, when you keep accommodating the accusations, when you keep sweeping them off, when you keep saying that's how they are, when you keep encouraging that behavior, you will become emotionally damaged. You that is getting it from them, you become emotionally damaged. So anybody that avoids accountability, anybody that can't own up to their wrong and mean it, not just people that will just say it for just saying sake so that you get off their back and tomorrow they will repeat the same mistake. So anybody that is not ready to be accountable, anybody that is not ready to really apologize and mean their apology, that is a red flag, and a red flag you should run away from. Now another red flag to look at for in a relationship is when they pressure you to compromise your values. I mean consistently. When they pressure you to tone down on your values, to tone down on your principles, when they say things like you're too deep, or you're too serious, or you're too dramatic, you're too uptight, you're too this, you're too that. What they're trying to tell you is that your convictions inconvenience me. Your values, I'm not interested in your values. And anybody that is not interested in your values, anybody that's not interested in your purpose, anybody that's not interested in your principles is not your friend. Shouldn't be in a relationship with that person, because they will present it as love. They will make it seem as if they are trying to be nice to you, they're trying to make you to not to be too uptight. It's not love, it's manipulation. It's manipulation. And manipulation is like witchcraft. That is how they will keep, talking to you, talking to you, talking to you. You now start second guessing yourself, second guessing your values, second guessing your principles, things that you worked hard, to put in place, boundaries that you worked hard to put in place. They start telling you you're too much, calm down, tone down on this and all that and all that. Know that real love protects. If the love is real, it will protect you. The real love will push you, will make you to move forward. It will push you to move forward. Real love will honor your values. Real love will honor your principles. Real love will not push you towards regret. It's rather to make you better. Real love will make you better. And know that if they can't honor your boundaries, if they can't respect your values, if they can't respect your principles now, know that they won't honor covenant. They won't honor you. They won't honor that's your relationship when you eventually marry, when you eventually settle down with them. Just know that and bear it in mind. Now, another red flag you should look out for when you're in a relationship is that they isolate you from community. That is, they try every means possible for you to just be with them. They can just say that I just want to be with you all the time. I just want to be with you always. It might feel like sweet attention at first, but once it's now constant, once it's now all the time, once you start seeing your friends and your families, I mean even your mentors, those in your circle, you start seeing them less. You don't see them often again. Your mentors, they barely hear from you. Your parents barely hear from you. I mean, people that matter in your life, they barely hear from you because you're in a relationship, or they don't even like the people around you. They don't like your friends. They don't like your family. They keep telling you, this is your friend. I mean, this is somebody that you've been friends with for years. But once these people enter into your life, they'll tell you that this your friend does not like you. This that they just coin one story and tell you about your friend or your family, just for them to be able to, isolate you from your family, isolate you from your community. I mean, from your close friends that matter. I mean those that matter. They don't like when people have a say over your life. They just want to be the only people that are in your life. Know that isolation is not intimacy. Isolation is not intimacy, it's a setup. What they want to do is that they will isolate you, drain you, make you to be enemies with your friends, with your community, with your family, set you up, and eventually leave you. And when they leave you now, you won't have somebody to rest on. You won't have somebody to lean on. You won't have that community now that you had. You can't lean on them. Remember that your friends and your families and your mentors, they were in your life before these people came. They were in your life before this relationship started. They were in your life before this your partner showed up. And you can't just automatically cut them off because you are now in a relationship. Know that they will remain there once the relationship eventually ends. And they are there for your safety. They are there to put you on guard. They are there to check that your relationship. I don't mean monitor now. They're there to check that relationship. So once somebody starts controlling everything about you, the people you talk to, the phone calls you answer, the chats you reply to, once one person wants to he just wants you, the person just wants you to be talking only to them and not to other people. I mean, your friends, your family members, your parents, your siblings, they don't want you to speak with anybody. Everybody is their enemy. Control wears a mask that looks like closeness, but that is not closeness, it's pure manipulation. But love creates space for growth, creates space for freedom, not a space for fear. So when somebody is afraid that your friends or your family, you talk to them often or you listen to them all the time, and so man, the person is agitating and making noise, trying to, you know, cut you off that community. My dear, shift back. Shift back from that relationship. Don't go further. Don't commit. Because when you eventually commit, these are the people that will, they will have friends outside though. They have their own friends outside, but they won't allow you to have. It's only them that should have a say in your life. So be careful so that you don't mistake wanting to be close to somebody as love. It is not love, it's pure control, it's pure manipulation. If any of the red flags I've mentioned is tugging at your heart or is stinging you some way, just know that you don't have to push it aside. It's not for you to push it aside. I'm not here to call people out. I just want to save you from what might destroy you. Let's keep going. Now, another red flag you should look out for when you're in a relationship, even before you go into that relationship, is when they speak harshly to you. When they speak harshly, they speak hurtfully to you, and they just say that they are being honest. They speak to you harshly, they speak to you in a way that you are literally bleeding in your heart. they brush it off as being honest or just a joke. I mean, when this is often, when this is common, and these people that speak harshly to you, if you speak harshly to them, they will feel offended. They will feel offended. They talk to you, their words, they might even quote it with a smile or a laugh. But the things they said is hurtful. In fact, anytime you remember it, you feel pain. You might even end up crying. Know that that is not emotional safety. That is subtle cruelty. Know that those people, they are not nice. They are just being cruel. Cruelty that is covered in a smile. Real love is not reckless with your heart. Real love will not make you feel bad. Real love will not make you feel pain. Even if it's the truth, even if they want to say the truth, even if they want to say something that is true, it can be spoken in love. It can be spoken in a very calm way and not with daggers, not with talking down on you, insulting your intelligence, insulting everything about you, shaming you and laughing it off, saying that they're just being honest or they're just joking. So you have to watch how they speak to you when they are angry, even how they speak to with others, how they speak to their mother, how they speak to somebody that they consider beneath them. So watch how they talk to people. Watch how they talk to you. The way they talk to you, especially when they are angry now, especially when they are offended, that is their real self. That is who they really are. So when they speak harshly to you and say that they are honest over and over, when you marry, you can't stand it. When you marry, you can't stand it. That is the truth. Because once it keeps coming, even the most patient person I know have a breaking point. Yes, and that breaking point will show forth when you're married or when the relationship continues. Now, the fifth red flag you should look out for whenever you're in a relationship or even if you're planning to enter one is that when they are inconsistent with their work with God, they profess Christianity, they profess that they follow God, they quote Bible verses, they speak the word of God, they listen to Christian music and all that and all that, but their life now, their life contradicts what they are saying. Their choices contradicts what they are saying. I'm not saying that everybody is perfect, but know that inconsistency is not the same as imperfection. Someone that is moving towards perfection is consistent. So inconsistency does not mean imperfection. They are not the same. Know that somebody that is inconsistent now in his relationship with God that he's professing or she's professing, your relationship is going to be double-hearted. It's going to be inconsistent because people reflect what they are. People reflect who they believe in. People reflect who they follow. So if Christ is not their anchor or their foundation, and that relationship continues, to get to a point that you will be the only person carrying the load. You'll be the only person bearing that weight. And as you keep bearing that weight, like I said, even the most patient person on earth has a breaking point. So if these red flags that we've mentioned now sounds like something that you've been tolerating or something that you're familiar with, don't ignore it. Because there is more coming in the second part. There's more coming in part 2. And you don't want to miss that. So tap the subscribe button and hit that bell because you're not navigating this journey alone. I want to work with you in wisdom. Remember that peace is a fruit of the spirit. And if a relationship keeps robbing you of peace, keeps taking away peace in your heart, that relationship is not from God. It's not sent from God. It's not from God. It's from somewhere else. So don't settle for attention that will cost you your identity. Don't cling to potential that ignores discernment. Wait on the Lord. And while you wait, get wise, get whole, and guard your heart because it is valuable. Don't be desperate to settle down. Don't be desperate to marry. Don't be desperate to be in a relationship. Rather, be discerning. Rather, be attuned to behaviors you're seeing. Be attuned to what they say. Be attuned to their reaction. Be attuned to how they react when they are faced with issues that are out of their control. So comment below. Which of the red flag checked you the most? Which of the red flag do you know? Which of the red flag have you seen and tolerated? Let's normalize wisdom even while we are waiting. So tap the like button if this gives you clarity and peace. And share this video with somebody, that person that you know that is trying to pray away red flags or that is trying to use red flags as a decoration. So until I come your way next time, remain whole, go after purpose, and don't brush off red flags. See you in the next video. Bye.
Feeling unsure about marriage, or wishing you had a clear roadmap for saying, I do. Don't miss the marriage mirror. What I wish I knew before I said, I do. This is your guide to the truths I learned later, so you can have them now. This is the kind of insight you'll wish you had before. Grab it today, link in the description.